Right now on Jamaica News Page tonight.
We're just in the family. He was 15.
You bitch! How dare you! How dare you do that to my nephew?
This teen murder suspect who fled to Jamaica, now in custody in the United States after a deadly shooting that began as a so-called water gun event. What we're learning tonight. Also tonight, heightened tensions in Portland, police on extreme alert after alleged threats from a reputed gang leader known as Bredda Dawg, but his lawyer insists he's no criminal. What more his lawyer is revealing tonight. And
people, me just buy a 2-pound pack of sugar in supermarket. This is what I bought. This is what I bought. This sugar. In Mandeville. And I tell you, look, pure metal is in the sugar. Pure metal.
a major product recall. Contaminated sugar pulled from shelves nationwide after this viral video appears to show metal fragments in the product. We have an advisory tonight from the Ministry of Health. Plus, a growing debate over policing.
On the other hand, we have an operation plan. We're going to visit a difficult area at 3 o'clock in the morning because you hear some murderer who has killed 12 people is in the community. And he moves around rapid like anyone. The hunted moves faster than the hunted. You can't send an officer in there just with with a marked car with lights blaring. They're gone. So you send a special squad in there, they're at risk. They'll be killed if they're not careful. And they can't go with cameras. Cameras will make them a target.
The Minister of National Security rejects calls for body cameras during high-risk operations as human rights groups push back and demand answers. And there's good news tonight. Blind but with a vision, a Jamaican woman loses her sight at just 22 but refuses to let that define her future. From the classroom as a student to leading one as a teacher, how Miss Thorpe turned adversity into purpose and is now inspiring the next generation. Welcome or welcome back to Jamaica News Page tonight, news that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica, and we're powered by viewers just like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay connected. Thank you for joining us. Lawrence Brown. Jamaica News Page tonight starts right now. We begin tonight in St. Andrew, where police are investigating a brazen robbery at a Western Union outlet along Shortwood Road. Armed men reportedly made off with close to $2 million during the incident, which occurred just before midday on Saturday. Preliminary reports indicate that about 11:40 a.m., the suspects arrived in a white Toyota Probox, attacked a security guard stationed outside, and forced their way into the establishment before fleeing with cash. Explosions were reportedly heard during the incident, prompting residents to alert the police, who are now probing the matter. The stolen amount remains preliminary as investigations continue. Now to an international story with local ties. An 18-year-old Jamaican national who fled to Jamaica after being named a suspect in a deadly shooting in New York is now in custody in the United States. Take a look as the teen is taken into custody.
We're just in the family. He was 15.
How dare you! How dare you do that to my nephew? How dare you!
Zahir Davis was arrested after returning to New York nearly 2 weeks after the fatal incident in Queens. Police say the victim, a 15-year-old Jaden Pear, was shot during what began as a water gun event at Roy Wilkins Park, which escalated into violence involving rival groups, including alleged gang members. Investigators allege Pear was beaten and then shot during the altercation. He later died at hospital. Davis, who's reportedly linked to the BG4 gang, now faces multiple charges, including murder, and could face 25 years to life in prison if convicted. He's scheduled to appear in court on April 29. Back home, new developments in this viral video involving students from Jamaica College. You'll remember the grade 11 student is seen here repeatedly slapping a schoolmate over missing items, including a sum of money, while others joined in the attack.
Boy, when man ever get the money? When man ever get the money? On him set up. You pose up in the man, when man ever get the money on him set up? And some of them big man, when man ever get the money? Answer the question, man, when man ever get the money on him set up? The two of them tell you everything there. Boy, when man ever, he asks you a question, don't stop him. When man ever get the money?
Police now confirm the teen seen slapping his schoolmate has been charged with assault occasioning bodily harm and has since been granted bail. We'll continue to follow this developing story and bring you the latest as more information becomes available. Now to Portland, where tensions remain high tonight. Police have raised the threat level in the parish to extreme following reports of death threats against law enforcement. The alleged threats come after a police operation in the Sherwood Forest District earlier this week, which left two men believed to be members of the Gully Gang dead. The deceased have been identified as 21-year-olds Troy McKenzie and Marlon Lewis, both reportedly from Parade Gardens, also known as Southside in Kingston. Authorities say the operation was part of efforts to apprehend the suspects linked to murders in the parish earlier this year. Authorities also say 39-year-old Marius Alonzo Davis, also known as Bredda Dawg, is now being sought in connection with the alleged threats made against the lawmen. However, his attorney has strongly denied the claims, insisting that his client respects law enforcement and is cooperating with authorities to clear his name.
Mr. Davis strongly refutes the allegations in respect of him making any threats to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Mr. Davis respects the Jamaica Constabulary Force and so intends to clear any misunderstandings in the appropriate fashion at the appropriate time. Arrangements have been made with the Port Antonio Police Station for him to treat with these allegations because they are unfounded and baseless.
The lawyer also maintains that Davis is not involved in any threats and has no ties to any criminal network, describing him instead as a law-abiding citizen who has turned his life around and is working as a farmer, raising poultry and livestock. The attorney adds that the allegations have negatively affected Davis's livelihood, with customers reportedly hesitant to purchase his produce. Meanwhile, police remain on high alert as investigations continue, citing concerns about possible retaliation following the deadly encounter. Turning now to a growing national debate, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang is defending the decision not to require police to wear body cameras during high-risk operations. Minister Chang says doing so could put officers in danger, arguing that visible cameras may make them targets during confrontations with armed criminals.
When we initiate a national road traffic check, what we mean is that every police division simultaneously puts out checks on the road. So you'll drive into Montego, you pass 5 or 6 checks on the road in a squad led by a corporal to check, and it has worked. So those officers, sometimes one will have cameras. On the other hand, we have an operation plan. We're going to visit a difficult area at 3 o'clock in the morning because you hear some murderer who has killed 12 people is in the community, and he moves around rapid like anyone. The hunted moves faster than the hunter, you know. You can't send an officer in there just with flash, with a marked car with lights blaring. They're gone. So you send a special squad in there, they're at risk. They'll be killed if they're not careful. And they can't go with cameras. Cameras will make them a target. They might find somebody, they might find nobody. The police does that all the time. So it has to be the decision of the Commissioner of Police who wears a camera, where and when. It's part of police equipment, like anything else. So we buy the cameras, we provide them, the police use them. Now, we have an interest as government, and I'm a minister. I've done research on it. Cameras are used in particular by policemen who interface with the public. When you go, if you're going to a dance, a whole huge crowd, if you're on the road, your road checks are important. In our station, road checks are particularly important. Taximen, well, let me put it away. When last have you seen a video? Because they used to go viral with a policeman and a taximan fighting. Or a policeman have to beat over a taximan. They don't. When the taximan see, or any driver, that's the taxis, because I'm not demonizing the poor taxi guys who are struggling. See a police with a camera and stop a car, they behave themselves. You don't get this string of colorful words and all that is there and what they can do. They show them the license, they go on, and if they have to take a ticket, the police print them a ticket, and there's very little exchange of any kind except a direct. So the commissioner and the officer in charge have to do that. This thing that you must wear a camera when you're going to look for a man who has an M16 that fires 60 rounds per second. It's a crazy idea.
Civil society groups and human rights advocates are pushing back, calling for greater transparency and urging the government to expand the use of body-worn cameras. The issue comes amid rising concerns over fatal police shootings and calls for stronger oversight.
The most recent unfortunate comments made by Dr. Chang is that body-worn cameras will definitely not be used in what is seemingly planned operations. And there have been relentless attacks on civil society organizations, primarily Jamaicans for Justice. No, I think it's important that the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Holness, to publicly clarify whether the comments made by Dr. Chang on the deployment of these body cameras across the different formations of the JCF is a position of the administration, or whether the position held by Dr. Chang contradicts the administration's position. I think it's important that reference is made to the Prime Minister's recent comment in January of this year that body cameras are not optional and that the government will provide the necessary budgetary support. And we have been seeing that with the commitment to procure 3,000 body-worn cameras across 3 fiscal years. The challenge that we're having is the commitment that a portion of these body cameras will be deployed to planned operations. In 2025, 311 civilians were shot and killed by the security forces, and that was a 65% increase over the previous year, which recorded 189. The planned operations accounted for some 50% of that fatalities. Now, that in and of itself may not be alarming, but what is alarming is that in a significant number of these incidents where there is no independent contemporaneous account from the officers involved, because citizens are saying that the officers did not act according to law. There were warrantless searches and CCTV cameras were pulled down, if you remember the Jamar Farkansa case. So when we put that in context, and also put in context that since the start of 2026, we have had 105 people killed, 11 people killed in April alone. And when you compare that to the previous year, you're already seeing where 2026 to date has edged out compared to last year. So we have to be asking ourselves the question, if it is that almost half of these fatalities are happening in planned operations, why are we not making the priority to deploy a portion of the body-worn cameras to planned operations? Civil society groups, we are not trying to dictate any operations of the JCF. That is not our focus, nor do we have the authority to do so. But there must be a policy position from the government, from the executive, that if it is that you have what is now half of your fatalities coming from planned operations, we have to ensure that there is some accountability. We have heard the pushback from Dr. Chang recently that the body cameras have flashing red lights and so on, and that must be roundly and soundly rejected, because I have personally seen body cameras and they can go in stealth mode. If it is that Dr. Chang is saying that the body cameras that have been procured cannot go in stealth mode, notwithstanding my own research on the facts and my own research having seen them in person, then the question that reasonable Jamaicans must ask, why not procure the ones that can go in stealth mode, that can also be utilized for covert operations where we're not putting the safety and security of our police officers at risk?
In other news tonight, there's a major consumer alert. A nationwide recall has been issued for sugar produced by Pan Caribbean Sugar Company after tests confirmed metallic contamination. The recall follows this viral video appearing to show metal fragments in the product, sparking widespread concern among consumers.
And I tell you, look, pure metal is in the sugar. Pure metal. Metal. See, look at this. I even tried to throw it out in this dish. And it's full of metal. Metal are about in the sugar. Black pieces of metal. Everywhere you look in the sugar. Metal. So you dig over the sugar. Metal you find. Pure fine pieces. Pure big pieces. Metal all about in the sugar. Eh? Definitely a killer of people. You're killing off the elderly, the children, everybody. When you put metal, metal should not consume in people's body because this is not right. You cannot send out metal in bag to kill people. You understand? You are supposed to see to it that the sugar is packed and done properly. You understand? The old machine wanna have where chip and metal come off of it a kill off people. Because when it gets in a people's throat, it is harmful to people. I don't want to stop it. Stop what I do. Because that's not right. What is to gain the world and lose the soul? Because I try to gain money. You understand? And killing off a lot of people. If you gain for yourself and it can't work, you don't need to stop it. Stop it. And give people clean things. Don't for eat and drink for their money.
Authorities say the affected sugar is now being removed from shelves while inspections are underway across the country to ensure all brands are safe. The Ministry of Health is urging members of the public to safely discard the product. However, there has been no clarification on how consumers will be refunded. Meanwhile, consumers are also being advised to remain vigilant and follow all official guidance as the investigation continues. And finally tonight, there is some good news. Blind but with a vision, Miss Sasha Thorpe is proving that even in the darkest moments, purpose can still shine through. Miss Thorpe lost her sight at just 22 years old during her second year at St. Joseph's Teachers College after developing glaucoma, an eye condition that left her completely blind in both eyes. But instead of giving up, she made a decision. In her words, I just said to myself, I have to work harder. I couldn't give up. I knew that I would lose my vision eventually, but when it happened, I told myself, I have to work harder to accomplish my goal. I'm not giving up. I can't give up. I never really felt stressed or depressed. I just adjusted very quickly. And that determination carried her forward. Ms. Thorpe went on to complete her diploma, then earned a bachelor's degree in primary education at the Jamaica University College, turning what many would see as a setback into a stepping stone. She began her career teaching at the School for the Blind before transitioning into the mainstream classroom. Now 39 years old, she teaches civics at a primary school in the corporate area, where she says her classes are anything but ordinary. Ms. Thorpe says she has to listen more and stay alert, but her lessons remain fun with games that keep students engaged and eager to learn. Her passion for teaching, she says, was inspired by the kindness she received from her own teachers as a child, something she now strives to pass on. With more than a decade in the classroom, she says it's her students who continue to motivate her every day. As teachers, we can speak life into children, she says, and her journey is still unfolding. Ms. Thorpe is now working on her first book, hoping to release it soon. It's a story about living without sight, but never losing vision. What a powerful title. A powerful reminder tonight that resilience isn't just about what you lose, but what you choose to build. Well done, Ms. Thorpe. And that's the news on Jamaica News Page tonight. News that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica. And we're powered by viewers just like you. We've got special rewards just for you. When you become a Jamaica News Page member, you'll unlock these special rewards you love, including a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments, shoutouts for your birthday, anniversaries, other special moments, and just so much more. Joining is easy. Just click subscribe, then click join, and choose to become a full star or full elite member right now. That's it, simple and quick. A link to join has been posted in the comments. Please leave a comment so we can welcome you with a shout out. Thank you for joining us, Lawrence Brown, and also thank you for watching Jamaica News Page tonight. We'll see you in the comments, and be sure to like, share, and join us again for more news. From all of us here, good night.